Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 31 here at the YYC Real Estate Show. With myself, Shiraz, Sebastian, and today we're excited to have a guest on, Connor. Connor, please introduce yourself. Full name for everyone out there.
Hey, my name's Connor Murray. Work with Cash and Homes. We're a local real estate investor, wholesaler in Calgary here. Originally from Manitoba, have a background in car sales, and decided to make the trip to Calgary and dip my toes into the real estate world. So,
Amazing.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, excited to get to know you a little more.
Yeah.
Of course, on the show, we'll give everyone their weekly update for the real estate market here in YYC first. So right now, active listings, 2,722. So again, creeping up to that 3,000 mark, however, still in a seller's market, low inventory. Let's have a look at the last week and 7 days. Let's see what happened for sales. So there was 576 sales, the highest being 4.4 million in Crescent and Britannia 2.125. The lowest in the last week were 155,000 and 156,000, both in the Southwest apartments, which is good. Normally you're seeing like Chinatown for the lowest sales, but to see one in Bankview and one in Ross Carrick, that's really good for investors, anyone out there. And of course, the big daily migration still happening from out of province into town is keeping us in a very strong real estate market still. So, Sebastian, you want to talk about an update on your listings you mentioned last week?
Since last week, my Cochrane listing is still live. Both of them, actually, both my Cochrane listings are live. We do have, actually, it's kind of funny because we're still in a situation where I'm selling the Cochrane house. The one my one Cochrane listing, and then my buyers are buying that one, and then I also have to sell their house too. So it's like managing the whole deal for everyone, and it's nice that way. But it's still going. The process is still underway. Things aren't necessarily quick in the real estate world, right? As we know. Yeah. And things take time. So
you have to be really careful and make sure you keep your clients' best interest, especially with a very common theme happening is people want to take advantage and take equity and sell their home, but then they don't know where they're going to go next. And are they going to move once? How are we going to dictate that smooth transition? So I'm dealing with that. I was dealing with this morning, got an offer accepted on a listing of mine. And then we shopped around this morning for a home. They put an offer on that home. And now I have to negotiate with the other side with two other agents on adjusting possession dates to make sure they coincide. So my seller is moving once. So what happens is, for example, if you're taking possession November 15 on the home you want to buy, you want to give up possession on your home that you're selling, 3 to 5 business days after that. So you move once, and then you have time to clean up your home and hand those keys over. Now what happens, and if someone asks, which they normally do, it's like, well, I need the money from my sale to pay for this next purchase. It's all handled by the lawyers, and they do a daily interest, which is a very small amount. And it's the most cost-effective way for you to make that smooth transition and move once. Whereas before, people thought they'd have to get into a temporary accommodation, put their stuff in storage, sell their place, and then wait to take possession of their new place. But now it's very, very convenient, and every lawyer in town will help your clients through that. So some cool things to do in Calgary this month. You have a lot of sporting events going on, of course, the Hitmen, the Flames, the Wranglers. Does anyone know the Calgary Wranglers?
No.
Yeah, me too. I was like, what the heck's the Calgary Wranglers?
The football team?
What do you think? Calgary Wranglers.
Maybe like an amateur team?
I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Calgary Wranglers.
Is it lacrosse or something?
Find out. Well, no, that's Roughnecks for us.
Yeah.
Calgary. It's a hockey team. The Calgary Wranglers are a professional ice hockey team that began in 2022-2023 American Hockey League season.
Also like the AHL team?
Yeah.
Okay.
The home of their NHL affiliate, the Calgary Flames, so they play at the Saddle Dome. So it's AHL, yeah, American Hockey League. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even know about them.
Yeah, I knew about the Hitmen, but
yeah, so they're here too. We have Calgary Hitmen, Calgary Flames, Calgary Wranglers, and as for arts and entertainment this month, you can go to Cirque du Soleil. Kuza is the event. the Alberta Ballet, October 26th to 28th. Magic Lies in the evening with W.O. Mitchell. That's October 21. And as for music, this already just passed. I'm sure a lot of people went there. I saw a lot of videos. Wu-Tang and Nas were here, but that's done. So you have the Doobie Brothers 50th anniversary tour, October 25th. Tool, October 27th. Screamfest is going all month at the Stampede Park. Spark After Dark at the TELUS Spark Center, that's happening as well. And Ghouls Night Out at Heritage Park, October 27th. So there's some cool stuff you can do this month in and around YYC. So again, just to recap, we are still in a strong seller's market. The daily migration into our province is keeping us in a good real estate market in general in YYC. So with that little update for you guys, let's get into the real topic here and get to know our friend Connor. So Connor, what made you make the move to YYC?
So it all started last spring. It was starting to warm up in Manitoba there. Got a couple nice days, and then next thing you know, we got snow. So I decided to make a last minute trip out to Calgary with my girlfriend, and spend a couple days here, going out to Banff and Kananaskis and doing some hiking, enjoying the outdoors. I was actually able to get out golfing, which was one of the main things I wanted to come out for. And
how many courses from your hometown?
We probably got 6 or 7. So
that's not bad.
Not a whole lot. Like there's a lot in the surrounding areas. You can drive within an hour, but
that's still quite a bit.
Yeah, no, it's enough.
How big of a town were you from?
It's about 60,000 people. It's got like a big surrounding area with farmers and stuff.
For 60,000 people,
that's a lot of golf courses.
7 courses.
And we have some nice courses. If you guys have ever heard of Riding Mountain National Park, it's a beautiful national park we have out in Manitoba. They have a really nice course along the lake.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, who has golfed all over Canada, says it's one of his favorite courses. So
nice.
It holds up to some of the courses out here.
Is he amateur level?
He is amateur or below amateur level, for sure. Yeah,
but it's really tough to even become amateur level.
Yeah. Golf is a tricky sport. Picked it up probably right when COVID started. Actually, there was
new into it.
Yeah. There wasn't. Everything was shut down. You couldn't do any indoor activities.
Yeah.
Golf was one of the only activities you could do because it was outdoors. So me and my buddies picked it up while I was in college, and started off slow like everyone does, and then you just hit that one good shot.
Get the itch for it.
Keeps bringing you back.
The rest is history.
Yeah, exactly. But when we came out here, we just were on our way back to Manitoba and just really wanted to make the move out to Calgary. And my mom actually back home is a real estate agent.
Sweet. So what were you seeing, and what were your perception of a real estate agent having one in the house?
I did see, it was nice seeing that she did have some flexibility in her job. Like she wasn't working a 9 to 5. I never really saw myself working a 9 to 5 job where, working all day.
Mm-hmm.
And, our job is hard. Being real estate is hard, but she was, able to have a little bit of flexibility in her life. Sometimes she'd wake up at 11, sometimes she'd wake up at, 7 in the morning, but it wasn't the same repetitive thing over and over, getting to meet new people. And just, coming from a background of car sales, I enjoy talking to people. And, my mom just said, hey, if you're doing that well in car sales, why not get some better commission sales and move into real estate? So kind of
do the same, but sell a different product.
Yeah, so it kind of sparked the idea to do that. And then that mixed with my love for Alberta just, brought me out here to Cash and Homes.
Welcome.
So, yeah, it's great to be
here. What was the coolest car you sold?
Coolest car I sold? I sold a... you gotta think it is Manitoba, so there's not a lot of cool sports cars. A lot of rich farmers. They want to buy, instead of spending $100,000 on a BMW, they go buy a Escalade or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, the coolest car, because I'm a performance car guy, was a Jeep SRT8 Grand Cherokee. So it was a lady came in, and she actually had 3 of them. And the last person you'd think would be driving an SRT8, she was in her 70s, and came in. She had a Challenger.
Oh, out of the way!
Yeah. Well, it was neat. Her son actually did dirt track racing out in Alberta here, so she had a racing background. This was into all the high horsepower cars. And one of the perks of that job was being able to drive them. Take it for a test drive, make sure everything works out right.
Yeah.
Maybe make sure the gas pedal works and test that out. So.
Of course,
full range of motion.
Gotta make sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And who do you have here with you today?
So this is my puppy Aspen. So
Aspen.
Mine and my girlfriend Emily picked her up last year back when we were in Manitoba, a couple months before we moved out here. And
Was that a long-haired Dachshund?
she's a long-haired dachshund,
Dachshund.
better known as a wiener dog.
Wiener
as
dog.
most people know. And she's got her new swag on. My girlfriend came across this last night at the store while we were looking
Sweet.
for not even pet stuff. We were at HomeSense looking for home decor and
Yeah.
stuff. And ended up going home with the doggy
Nice
jacket.
fleece, yeah.
Funny how that works, but. Yeah, she first time in the Cashin's office today. She,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Doing really well.
she's doing really well. You
Yeah.
know, I'm making calls, talking to my customers, and she's just right here
Chilling.
napping away. And I do take her door knocking with me. So,
Sweet.
Yeah.
The closer.
Yeah, the closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I take
Yeah.
my son. Everyone knows my son is the closer. I
Oh,
take
yeah.
him for my appointments.
You can't say no to him. Can't say no to him. Puts the paper in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say ABC always be closing or Aspen be closing.
Aspen be closing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I'll be out in the Glenbrook, Killarney area door knocking. So
Nice.
I always take her out with me, and it kind of helps break the ice. And you know, she's a lot cuter than I am, so go out to door with her is a little easier to talk to
Break
customers.
the ice,
That
yeah.
way, exactly. So
But yeah, I mean, I think we should go into what you recently acquired and how it actually ended up in my hands.
yeah. So had a incoming customer who came to us was actually the daughter was looking to sell her father's property, so there was a little bit of a language barrier, and we were able to accommodate them and help them out with their situation. She had actually come in from BC to help her dad do all this stuff, and she was really just looking for an easy, convenient process. She
Yeah.
was had a time frame that she needed to be basically in and out of Calgary, back to BC.
Yeah.
Didn't necessarily have time to list it, so she decided to reach out to us here and explore her options for cash offers, and we were able to give her actually more than she was looking to get for it. We were able
Amazing.
to come to an agreement on price, and both parties were happy. Both the husband and the wife were happy, and we were able to strike a deal. And turns out that our boy Sebastian here ended up picking him up for himself, and it's
I had no idea that you're the one that acquired it.
Yeah.
I met Brennan at the property, and he took me to a tour of it, and it was great. It's gonna be my next project.
yeah.
But yeah, that's great. That's great that you were able to close that. And that was all from that was an incoming call,
Incoming call.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty quick moving. I deal with a lot of customers, and I'm talking for months and months.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come to an agreement on price or whatever it is. And this one was pretty quick. They basically said what they wanted. We gave them exactly what they wanted. So
Yeah, those deals that happen quickly are usually the sweetest.
Yeah, it was pretty easy for both parties.
Yeah.
It was kind of a really win-win situation with you as well. And fantastic house. Garage and double attached garage and all that. So it's
Sebastian's becoming the Prince of Pembroke.
Prince of Pembroke, yeah. Turns out, so I just did a flip in Pembroke, and
which also was a cash in one.
Yeah, we talked about it for months on the podcast, and this one turns out to be just down the road from that one. I was like, I'm finally getting away from Pembroke. I'm done. Right?
It wasn't really Pembroke. It's like
No.
when you're stuck with a project that's a
Yeah.
reno and flip of yours, you're there so much, it consumes so much of your time. So it's not that he wanted to get out of Pembroke, he just wanted
Pembroke
to
is
be
great.
done with that
Yeah, with that project, yeah.
Move on to the next.
Now I'm in Pembroke 2.0, so
Yeah.
hopefully it's a lot
Hey,
better.
the first one went very well, made you money.
Yeah,
I'm the one that sold it for him. I imagine I'm going to sell this one for you as well.
yeah, there we go.
Just to
full
keep-
circle.
Yeah, just to keep keep it, kind of no conflict of interest. A lot of times, even as a licensed real estate agent, you want to get a colleague, a friend of yours in the industry to represent you on your own personal sale, just to keep your emotions out of it, keep someone with an unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
So that's really important. People don't think they'll get attached, but this is not. People even get attached to when they're buying and selling cars. Imagine how it is with homes, right? So when you've put all the sweat and work into a project, you don't want to hear any of the comments that may be not positive, because the buyer's looking for the best deal. They might want to throw a low number at you. So it is always best, even if you're a licensed agent, to get a colleague to represent yourself.
Yeah, and it's not just for me. The biggest issue is like I feel like I'm fairly good and I understand the market, right? But it was other people's opinions that I had to reflect on, right? And having Shiraz to be able to, no, that's not my opinion. That's Shiraz's opinion. That's what he said. He's 17 years in this industry. He can't be wrong, right? He can't be wrong. So that was great. That helped out a lot. And yeah, it looks like we're all kind of being involved in a deal here together, huh?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
So what do you like about YYC? And if there's one thing you could change, what would it be?
Things a little bit. I like being close to the mountains. You know, big into skiing and outdoors. I enjoy mountain biking, and coming from the prairies, there's not a whole lot of that. We have a couple small,
it's flat,
hills, but growing up, we always used to make trips out west to do ski trips. So just enjoy being close to the mountains and having that option to drive an hour to Canmore or wherever and get out and enjoy the outdoors. One thing I'd change: rental prices.
If you could wave a magic wand, they're like as much as a mortgage.
We're and it's even find a place. Like when I was trying to come out here, I actually landed the job before I landed a place to live, so I was kind of sweating a little bit. It was a week before I was supposed to move out here. Ended up finally getting this place. We're way down in Seton, so we're like the far. It's far away. We're right down
by that hospital. I just sold an apartment down there.
Yeah.
So it's far.
It's far. So if I could find something a little bit more central, for a good
well,
price.
we can help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
no, that's a very common one. Everyone enjoys being close to the mountains, and if you don't know what you're going to do and you have an afternoon off or a day off, it's like a lot of times I grab my family, and even while we're like debating and thinking where we want to go, what we want to eat, I just start heading west, and before you know it, in the conversations, we're like in the mountains, and you discover a new restaurant, cafe, always discover a new trail, path. So it's a very, very big fortunate convenience that we have here. Yeah. So that's a big common one, and I enjoy it as well personally all the time. Like having the mountains, 45-minute hour away from us. So you can't beat that.
What's your favorite ski hill?
Ski hill. I'd have to say Whistler. If anyone's ever been to Whistler before, I've never been to anything quite like it. My dad always said that. My dad was grew up before both of us were in the auto business. He was into like a ski and bike shop. So he had a ski and bike shop for years. Yeah. So I always grew up around skiing and biking. So we never go on hot holidays. We never went to Mexico or anything like that. It was always, hey kids, we're going to go skiing this year.
That's pretty good.
And so we were always going out. Been to places like Whitefish, Montana is also a nice one that I like. Or Vail is a good one. But no, for as far as something, right here in Canada, Whistler, I'd say.
Whistler?
Both summer and winter. If you ever get a chance to go check out the village down there, even in the summer, they got Crankworks there, which is like a downhill bike competition. I've been down there in the summer to do some biking, and it's awesome.
Nice.
It's awesome being around the coast. Yeah.
Back to how there's no ski hills back home, and it's Saskatchewan, right?
Manitoba. A little bit further east, yeah. Okay,
because I heard a joke that like Alberta and all the way to Manitoba, Saskatchewan, that was like one, and then they're like looking at the map and like, it's too big. We need to chop this up. 2 quick lines.
Yeah,
you got
Saskatchewan. Yeah, there's not even like just straight.
It's as vertical as it can be. So I'm just wondering how that happened, because you look at the rest of the entire country.
All the borders are all.
They're all.
I wonder how they can. Yeah.
So it's just a common joke, but I think and wonder about that too, right?
Yeah, scribbled in there real quick. Like, 2 lines. It's flat. Like if you guys have ever been to like Manitoba, Winnipeg, or anything like that?
Winterpeg.
Winterpeg. Yeah, you're not missing a whole lot. I always tell my buddies I used to go to school out in Ontario, and I told them how flat it was. They never believed how flat it was until you get out there. If you guys have ever driven across Canada through that way, especially if you land in Winnipeg at the airport and drive to Brandon. It's the flattest, straightest drive.
You can still see the airport.
Yeah, it's crazy. On like a clear day, you can see.
What's that joke? What's that joke? It's like you can see your dog run away for days.
Yeah. You probably could, man. Yeah, no trees. It's just farmland, and it's
see your dog run away for days.
Maybe not this little guy. She's too small, but definitely a big dog. I can see that.
Go inside a gopher hole or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's great. You're actually our second guest in a row from Manitoba.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys are flocking over here or something? What's going on?
Yeah, man. I got a couple buddies who made the move out west too. You got some buddies going to Kelowna actually. So,
but you're tempted to go to a small town.
Pardon me?
I bet you're tempted to go to a small town.
Yeah. But there's just so much to do, especially in Calgary. That there's a lot of appeal that way. Just Manitoba, it's like where I came from. It's like you got nothing to do. You go for a drive, or a lot of people are into things like hunting and fishing. I wasn't really too big into that stuff. So coming out here, you just got such a variety of things to go do, and we're just right out the door here. You got Greta, like we got nothing like that out where we're from. Yeah, that's a neat place to go play some games. Was there like a week or two ago and just play Guitar Hero, man. It's been like 10 years since I picked up Guitar Hero.
I didn't even know they had it over there.
Yeah, that was funny. I have to check it out.
Nice. Yeah, no, Calgary's great. I love Calgary.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be here for a long time. So
till you get deported.
Till I get deported.
It's Mexican, so Trump 2024. If your rules want to apply north of the border.
Not supposed to disclose that. Full Canadian. I promise, Anna. No, it's great. It's great. No, I actually have a ton of family immigrating here from Mexico. And it's a lot of my family here is just that they're moving from Mexico, just wants to come here to start a family, right? Because Mexico, it's great for vacationing, but it doesn't have the same safe feel that you'd want your kids to be in that Canada does, or at least Calgary, because Calgary so far still seems pretty safe. I know that there's been lots of things with the train and whatnot and whatever, but I don't know. How have you found that?
I feel like as far as like big cities go, it does have a little bit of like a community small town feel.
Yeah.
Like I spent a little bit of time down near Toronto. They're a different breed out there for sure. I think it's very Americanized in my opinion. But you come out to like Calgary and it's it just seems like a bigger version of where I'm from, Brandon. There's like a big sense of community. And yeah, a lot of wholesome people here. So as far as big cities go, I think it's
nice.
You'll get a benefit that way.
Yeah. In Ontario, where you were, is it the same like accent? Because I've seen a lot of stand-up comedians talk about Toronto and their accent, and one in particular was saying it was Schultz, right? He was saying Andrew Schultz, and he's like, he was doing a show in Ontario. He's like, I came here years ago, and Toronto was a really nice place, just like most Canadian places. Everyone's really nice, and then all of a sudden, like a light switch, you guys became Jamaican.
That's Jamaican.
So he's like, it's like, fam, reach Timmy's fam. Them gal is here.
Wagwan.
And then he's like, shut up, you're from Hamilton. You don't talk like that.
No, I know that there's a lot of slang that they would use out there.
Hey, broski, hey, crody.
Oh, man. Or they'd say, instead of saying like a lot, they say bear. Like, oh, man, there's bear girls here.
Bear gal Timmy's. Reach Timmy's fam.
Where I think bear is like nothing. Like, it's bear.
Yeah.
And that totally, and then I ended up picking up some of that slang coming back to Manitoba. My buddy's like, what are you saying?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Like, just talking nonsense. And I'm like, to me, it was a normal. I spent 4 years there. It was normal. And it's
bear skiing hills. Bear things to do, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you'll have
reach YYC, Bridget.
Yeah, it's weird seeing a bunch of white guys just talking like Jamaicans. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's what the comedian was saying. He said you got this young white kid Kyle being like, reach Timmy's fam.
Yeah. Kyle. Oh man.
It's funny how things in culture change and how like a town can have its own slang, and there's so many different towns in Europe, and they're all like there's so many different boroughs around London that all have such different accents. Like in England, they all have such different ways of speaking, and you'd think they're all just have that same British accent, but no, like a Manchester, a London, and even in London there's like East London, West London, North. They all have different ways of talking. So
even Alberta kind of has its own like stigma around it, like lots of oil riggers. And it's kind of like the Texas of Canada in a way. Like,
we're still the wild west out here.
Yeah.
We're definitely a big, cowboy town, and we're the oil town. So, it's definitely, you do have that. Like our big sisters, like Texas, all the big outfits out here, their head office is like Houston.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I went to school in Cochrane, right? And you got the, well, not the rednecks necessarily, but
farm boys.
Yeah, the farm
Yeah.
boys, the farm boys with their trucks and their chew.
Yeah, a lot of trucks up that way in Cochrane.
Yeah.
I got a buddy actually who works at the Cochrane GM dealer out there, and he's always sending me. They sell a lot of trucks
Yeah.
and a lot of like muscle cars. So
course.
they get a ton of like out of all of Canada, they get probably the most like Camaros and Corvettes and things like that. Because in the auto world, if no one's familiar with the auto world, a lot of dealerships they have to get allocated these vehicles. So they can't just go up and be like, hey, I want 15 Camaros. They only give them to certain dealers, but they know around here
They're gonna
money
move.
and they're gonna move. Yeah, and a lot of them, you know, just with supply issues the past couple of years, they're sold before they even hit the floor.
Yeah, they're pre-sales and
If
order.
anyone out there is looking to get a Corvette, at the dealership outside is about a 6-year waiting list to
Really?
get
Whoa.
a new Corvette. So it might be different out here, but I know that
So when you get your Corvette 6 years later, or what? So 6 years waiting
It's not
list to get
6
the
years.
it's
Is it?
6 years.
to get the latest Corvette. Like how does
So-
that waiting list work?
It's a waiting list. So the dealership only gets allocated, let's
Yeah.
say, 2 Corvettes a year. So they only get 2 Corvettes a year, and so it's not like so you're on a waiting list for 6 years. You're not going to get one from 2023.
Oh, okay.
You're going to get but it's basically your turn to get in line to buy one.
So if there's like 10 people and they get X amount a year, they go through those 10 people and each of them get them as they come in.
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Or you could just hit up Auto Trader Kijiji. There's like a dozen for sale. In
there's a lot of used ones.
Yeah.
A lot of people. There's no stigma around getting a new vehicle. Like, oh, I don't want to use.
They want it
one.
0 kilometers. Yeah.
And you can build them exactly how you want. Too.
Yeah,
so you want,
customize
like, the new ones. You can go as crazy as like changing the stitching color,
Yeah.
seatbelt color. So
Mhm.
a lot of these people are diehard Corvette guys.
Are they coming manual still?
They don't.
Yeah,
because they're mid-engine now. So
Yeah, but Porsche, I think Porsche is the only one left that's making 2023, 2024 models that are manual transmission. I think everyone's moved away from the manual gearbox.
Yeah.
They're the only ones left.
Porsche was saying they're going to try and keep as long as they can. And
They'll keep it, yeah.
Same with gasoline ninjas. Like a lot of manufacturers are going the electric route, and Porsche basically put out a statement saying we're going to keep gasoline ninjas.
They're going to
as
keep
long as we
one.
possibly
They're going to
can.
keep their 911, they said.
Yeah.
They're like their
Performance.
golden
Yeah.
ticket vehicle, right? They're going to keep their 911 naturally aspirated engine.
Yeah, it's nice that they at least give an option. I feel like, with all these electric vehicles coming out, I feel there should still be, a fossil fuel option.
Yeah.
You know,
Like have your hybrid and electric, but still give us 1 or 2.
because there's a lot of people who, if you live in a rural, like farmers and stuff,
They want
they're
that.
putting these things through their ringers.
Yeah.
They don't have time to charge it for.
No,
You know,
you
a couple
they need
hours.
the diesel.
Yeah.
They need the diesel, and that's why I think there is definitely an application for electric vehicles.
Yeah.
For me, commuting half hour each way from Seton, I could definitely use an electric vehicle.
I
Gas
think
ain't cheap.
hybrid's the ticket
Yeah,
because then you don't have to worry about charging. You're still going to fill up, and it's so easy to fill up. There's gas stations everywhere.
Yeah.
The difference is the hybrid will give you 800-900 kilometers a tank, right?
and I feel the big thing holding it back is just the infrastructure. There's just not a whole lot of charging stations out there right now. Like there are.
Everyone's
but
charging at home.
Yeah.
All those that I know
Yeah.
that have a full electric,
You gotta,
they just get home and plug it in, and it's plugged in all night. And it takes like 8-9 hours for a full charge, so it's plugged in all night. They wake up, and on average, I think they get like 400 to 450 kilometers of range.
Yeah.
That's more than enough for an entire day, even if
easily.
you're trying to go Edmonton, Red Deer, and come back. One tank.
I don't know if it's still true, but when I searched it up, I think it said it was like $5 a charge. That's what it used to cost you. I mean, the electricity prices have gone way up in Alberta, but
Still, even if it's less than $20,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
making it up.
Yeah,
pretty-
one of my
pretty good that way.
clients specifically wanted to purchase a place that was set up for solar and all that, so that everything, 2 vehicles, 2 electric vehicles, make sure they're charging and make sure that the client's not paying for the charging. He's like, I need the full solar outfit, and if not, then
get that $20,000 of solar panels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how much it was. Yeah, it was like, I believe the seller said it was a $25,000 install
Yeah.
with the big in the garage, like a big power box that just keeps the energy. And you can
Yeah.
draw from it, and you can sell back to the grid. Actually,
I've heard that.
you're like taking so much in, and you have surplus, and you have more than you're using. You can sell some of that energy back to the grid.
Interesting. You gotta wonder how long, if you are paying, upwards of $20,000 for solar panels. At what point are you paying it off? Like, at what point does your money?
Like 10 years or something?
More than I would say
10
15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 15 years.
I guess if it was like a forever home, or does it from your guys' perspective, does it change the resale value?
It does increase the property value for sure.
Yeah.
If it's already there, but
Not substantially. It's no more than if you had a garage. Like a garage will add 10, 15,000 at the most onto your value, having a garage. Then a garage costs more than that these days, right?
Yeah.
So but so basically you have like a $20,000-$25,000 solar system.
Yeah.
You might get 10 grand more easily than your neighbor. That doesn't mean you're going to get exactly that dollar amount increase on your property next to the neighbor, right? Some people may not care for it.
Yeah. I actually, one of those solar salesmen came to my house and I was just curious. I was like, do you guys know I asked him about how much it increases property value. And he was like, this new builder says he charges 10% more for houses with solar. And I was like, oh, that's curious.
10% more?
10% more.
So like a $500,000 house, he's going to charge 50 grand more?
Yeah, supposedly. Because it has solar. Yeah.
Well, because he's doubling, like most trades guys do, they double up. So if it costs him 25,000, he's going to make it 50,000.
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you're starting your journey out here in Calgary, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I finally starting to get some confidence now. I always enjoyed sales.
Mm-hmm.
Loved interacting with customers, and that's a lot of what we do in this job is just reaching out, helping people, and to me, just the satisfaction you get when you're able to help someone, and just the rush you get when you close a deal. I don't know. A lot of jobs, like, I've worked in the back of, mechanics and dealerships and all that stuff. There's not a whole lot of excitement in the job. You don't really get a sense of accomplishment. You go in and you clock in, clock out, and that's it. But with this, I find that with commission-based work, your paycheck is a direct reflection of how much work you're putting in.
Yeah. And when you actually close, it makes you want to work more. I find it gets you excited.
It motivates me. Yeah. Like I had a couple good deals, and when you see, I'm not necessarily motivated by money, but when you see it, it does kind of light a fire under your ass. It motivate you for sure. But it's a great experience, especially to meet you guys, and just I've always learned it's not about what you know, but who you know. So just
for sure
expanding your network out here, and trying to meet as many people as I can, investors and other realtors, is I think going to be a big key for me. So
we're excited to keep it going and watching you from the ground up.
Yeah,
I remember I first met you, it was like your first, second, or third day here.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So glad to see you're doing well, and sky's the limit for sure, especially out here. You have that friendly attitude and a work ethic to go alongside it. The inevitable result is you're going to be successful in sales, right? So thanks again for coming on. We really appreciate getting to know you a little more. And how can everyone reach out to you?
Yeah, if you guys ever looking to get a cash offer on your property, you can reach me. So my direct line is my cell, 587-318-5887. Or you can even call Cash and Homes directly and speak with Candace or Carrie, and they could direct you my way. But
what about social media?
Still working on it. Yeah.
You don't have. What about your personal Instagram? Do you want
personal Instagram
out there?
Yeah, that's exclusive.
Yeah, that's exclusive. Yeah. Classified information.
Not that much skiing and shotgun and beers.
No, professional is coming soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Professional page.
So watch out for that. Yeah. Exciting times.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week.
Take
Cheers.
care.